Previously on the Real Movie Critics. I was like, oh, fuck. Mom, Dad, do not touch it. You do not eat. It's evil. Don't touch it.
And what do they do?
What's the first thing they do? They put it down. They walk away safely, happy, fucking ending, roll the credits. Wrong answer. These two dipshits were like, I wonder what it, and they touch it. They fucking explode. They're done. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Real Movie Critics, real reviews by real fans. Once again, we will be scuba-less in this episode. Is that even a word, scuba-less? I don't think it's...
For all intents and purposes today, yeah, let's go with it. It works.
But again, Mr. Scuba is taking some maternity leave. Baby Sienna was born just over a week ago. I actually got to meet baby Sienna yesterday.
Lucky.
She's so little. She's so tiny. Real quiet. I was expecting, babies are very verbal. And she was just like, hey, what's up? Give me a bottle. Let's go. But
that's about right.
She's adorable. But we will excuse the no PTO request from Scuba the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping he'll be back next week. Everything should be back to normal. I know.
Hopefully.
Mel went back to work tonight, so I'm thinking things should be back to normal here pretty soon.
Yeah, I saw the post on that. So
yeah. So, but thankfully, this is not one of his picks that he did because we'll be doing that at the end of the month. But this particular week, we will be talking about the John Hughes classic, Uncle Buck, which was released on August 16th, 1989, and it was written and directed by John Hughes. I do want to say, if you, like myself, if you were born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s and the 90s, John Hughes definitely was a part of your life at some point. Not just Gen Xers, but also the earlier millennials as well. And I know growing up, we watched The Breakfast Club. Didn't watch 16 Candles too much. I tell you, she's kind of a sleeper, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
it's more of it's a silly movie.
That one and Pretty in Pink is not one of my favorites.
Yeah,
either,
Pretty in Pink is more serious, but you think about John Hughes, of course, Vacation, Christmas Vacation, Home
Weird
Alone,
Science,
probably one of my favorites. Breakfast Club, stuff like that. But Uncle Buck. When I was watching this yesterday, it's a great movie. I don't need a reason to watch this movie, but I had forgotten how much this movie will pull on your heartstrings. Uncle Buck, who doesn't have a job, he just pretty much just coasts through life, but he's happy, or so we think, or at least we think.
Yeah, until this whole thing happens.
It kind of opens his eyes a little bit. But we'll get into that here in a bit. But first, we'll talk about the starring cast in this movie. Of course, the late, great John Candy as Buck Russell. The man needs no introduction. He's been in almost everything. He's such a great actor. I'd forgotten he's Canadian, and you don't really hear it too much. But he said the word sorry in Uncle Buck, and it was more like sorry than sorry. I'm like, oh, there's the Canadian accent.
I was wondering about that, yeah.
Jean Louisa Kelly as Tia Russell. Mr. Holland's Opus is the first movie that comes to mind.
That is the second movie of hers that always comes to mind when I think of her. It's this one first and then that one.
There was a TV show she was on as well. I forget the name of it. What's up?
I can find it right now. Yes, Dear, I believe it was called.
Yes, Dear, that's right. Yeah, she was in that as well. She just plays. Tia's a bitch. Let's be fucking real. Tia is a fucking bitch in this movie, and we'll talk about that here in a bit. In his first role, Macaulay Culkin as Miles Russell. And then you have Gabby Hoffman as Maisie Russell, who I guess they were twins because they're about the same age. Yeah, but they're twins. You know, twins, boy and girl twins do not have to look alike. It's just
not necessarily.
No. They're when they're like that, it's not. We're getting into the science territory here. It's 2 eggs fertilized by 2 sperm cells. It's not it's not 1 egg that was fertilized and then split into 2. It's just
too much science for me right now.
I know. Amy Monaghan as Shanice Kobolowski.
She can be, but let's at least give notice that she is currently nominated for her role as Aunt Gladys in Weapons. Good luck to you, ma'am. Hopefully you win that. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to the Oscars, to be honest with you. I stopped giving a shit after Mom passed. It's like,
I did too, but quite frankly, the last couple of years since I watched just about everything as much as I can every year, I'm paying more closer attention the last couple of years.
Yeah,
so
fair enough. We have Laurie Metcalf as Marcy across the street, who is a completely different character from the other characters she plays around the same time, which is Jackie from
Roseanne
show. We got Cindy Bronca as Cindy Russell. She's another one that just annoys me. And then Garrett M. Brown as Bob Russell, who's just there. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Mike Starr as Pooter the Clown, which in one of my favorite fucking scenes in that movie, definitely stands out. And we have Jay Underwood as Bug. And for those that like straight to video at that time movies, he was in the Boy That Can Fly. He was also in The Invisible Kid, which is a very wow.
And also, I don't know if you remember this, but the Not Quite Human series, I think with Alan Thicke. You remember those? I vaguely remember them. It's been so long, I couldn't tell you anything about them, but I do remember him being in them. They made like 3 of them or some shit.
He was also the Human Torch in the never released Fantastic Four movie back in the 90s. So yeah. And we have a cameo in the classroom with Maisie. Anna Klumsky. We never get a name. We just classmate or something, but
just school child number 1. That's it.
Yeah. But Anna Klumsky, who we would see again with Macaulay Culkin in My Girl. That's another tearjerker that fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a pretty strong cast for this movie. We don't see the parents a whole lot because the whole basis of the movie is that I guess they moved from Indianapolis to Chicago a couple years prior. And the father has a heart attack. They get the phone call in the middle of the night. They're trying to figure out, oh shit, who we're gonna, because they don't want to upload the kids and take everybody because they have school and everything, which as a
makes
parent,
sense.
It makes sense. So they're trying to figure out who the fuck's gonna watch the kids. They have a couple of neighbors in mind, but they're not available. Bob is like, I have an idea. I'm gonna run it by you real quick. And how about Buck?
And she's totally against it. The wife has we never really find out why, but she's got we kind of do. She's got a lot of contempt for both Buck and even for Shanice. And she makes a comment about that woman who sells tires. And it's like, she comes off as a very judgmental bitch, in my opinion.
I think she's a snob. She thinks that they're beneath her. And you get that impression from her very early on. She's a bit of a bitch. And Tia, who is the oldest of the 3, obviously would be more affected by a move like that than the kids because they probably weren't even in school when this happened. So she had to uproot and move to a different place and meet new friends. And you can tell she's kind of an outcast in the school. She's kind of on the outside looking in. Then they get a hold of Mr. Buck, and Buck's like, he calls him at 2 a.m. and he's asleep. They have a conversation, and then Bob's like, he said he'd do it, and he's asleep at this time of night. That's a good sign. And the wife's like, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but then Bob just kind of turns around like, oh, boy. Like, even he's like, oh, God, what have we done? What have we done?
And you can totally tell that Buck is the older brother. Bob is the younger brother, obviously. But like most brothers, even though your brother is a bit of a fuck up, you still like, well, he's fucking family, he's not perfect, but he's fucking family, give him the benefit of the doubt. He fucking he he apparently has a job starting the next day with his girlfriend Shanice at the tire spot, and he makes the comment. She's like, "Are you going to be there? Are you going to be there?" And he goes, "Shanice, I'll tell you right now. If I could think of an excuse not to be there, I would use it." And then that's when they get the fucking phone call. Like,
Yep, literally right afterwards, and
this
it's
is
like,
great
oh
writing by
boy,
great writing by John. He used to kind of just keep that going, keep that just keep it going. It's fucking hilarious.
it's seamless,
Um,
pretty much.
yeah, and then of course they haven't had him over since they moved, and we don't get a time frame of how long that was, but I think the Miles and Maisie were like little bitty things at the time, and now they're like 6 or 7.
Well, apparently they don't even remember him because, like, when Macaulay
Yeah.
Culkin's sees him the first time, he freaks out like,
Who are
"Do I have
you?
an uncle?" Yeah, really, like, "What the hell? Who are you?"
You can tell they never talk about him because the
Nope.
mom is just so judge. But it's funny that um when Buck is dropping everybody off for school the next morning, he drops off Tia first because I guess she was closer, and he's pretty much giving Tia the business from the word go. Like, stand me up today, and tomorrow I'll show up on my pajamas and robe and walk you to your first class. And then
Yeah, he sets it up right away that he is not going to put up with her crap
and
from the
then
get go.
and then Tia asks him the question. She's like, "Has anybody ever embarrassed you this way?" The Buck is kind of looking around, and they pan to the back to Miles and Maisie, and they're waiting for an answer. And he's like, "No."
No,
And then from that moment, Miles and Maisie are hooked. They're like, "We love this guy. This guy is awesome." So they were hooked from the word go. And yeah, definitely, just it was. And you can tell Buck's a good dude. He's good with kids. He's not he's the cool uncle. Everybody wants to be the cool uncle, right? Um,
preferably.
Before we go any further in the story, I do want to go over these fun facts that I found, and there's quite a few of them on here.
Cool.
First off, John Candy improvised the drill interrogation scene with Bug. It was all improvised. So and again, that goes back to the SCTV days where they would, they did improvise quite a bit. Um, they were originally going to film this in St. Louis, but it was too warm, so they moved production to Chicago.
Fair enough.
St. Louis and Chicago are not that far apart from each other. Maybe 3 hours, 4 hours most, maybe. Yeah, I've done that drive. It's not that far.
Mhm.
This is actually pretty cool, and this is most John Hughes movies, but the entire Russell house and other interior sets were built inside the gym of the new Trier High School in Northfield, Illinois, which was also used for Home Alone and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and they I know somebody was I was talking to somebody about that, and they're like, "Well, didn't they film Breakfast Club there?" Like, no, that's a different high school. That was a different high school that was on the other side of that city. It's in Chicago somewhere. I forget where. I think north.
Yeah, because there is no Shermer in Illinois, as it turns out.
Well, Jay and Silent Bob found out for us, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, exactly.
This was Macaulay Culkin's big break, as his performance here led to getting his biggest role, which was Home Alone.
You know, this is not his first movie, right?
Really?
Do you remember a movie called Rocket Gibraltar? Ring a bell?
Vaguely, yeah.
Mom showed it to me when I was a kid. That movie, to my understanding, came out before that he was really young in that movie, and it had to do with the grandfather having a big old birthday get together. He passes away, and then all the kids get together to give him a Viking funeral so he doesn't have to rot in the ground and be eaten by worms, essentially.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I vaguely remember it, but yeah.
John Candy was not the original front runner to play Uncle Buck.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Who, an actor in the '80s and maybe the early '90s. Who do you think would have been the front runner for that role at that time?
Eugene Levy. I don't know.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Dan Aykroyd.
No. Think think 70s sitcom, like late 70s sitcom uh persona.
Tom Hanks? No, he's
No,
80s. My bad.
I'd say actually that's 80s.
Yeah, it's 80s.
This sitcom had some of the greats like Christopher Lloyd, Tony Danza, Andy Kaufman.
Oh, you're talking about Taxi.
Yes.
Shit. Damn, who the hell from Taxi did you did? Danny DeVito?
Danny DeVito. Danny
No
DeVito
way.
he was the front runner to play Uncle Buck, and he turned it down, and they gave it to Candy. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that what he did in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is also a John Hughes movie. We don't mention that one. Whenever you think John Hughes, I think teen movies. I don't think adult movies. So definitely, but DeVito was the front runner.
How funny.
The scene where Miles is looking at the mailbox for Shanice and asks her for ID, that scene by itself was the inspiration for Home Alone.
I believe it. I totally believe it.
And the fact that it was Macaulay Culkin, I'm like, okay, it makes sense.
It's very fitting.
Yeah. A combination of a gunshot and a firecracker were used to make Buck's car backfiring noise. And I love how he like, boom, he got it. He knew that when he gets out of the car, when he's pissed off at Tia later, he gets out of the car and you hear it, and then he puts his hand out and does it just on cue every time. And finally, Uncle Buck has a dubious honor of being filmed, released in theaters, and released on home video all in the same year.
Considering how long it took for movies to hit home video back then, that's saying something.
So if it was filmed earlier in the year, it didn't drop until August, and it probably went on video right around Christmas time.
Probably.
Which makes sense. Back to the story. We get kind of a hint as to where the mom sits with Buck because he's looking at wedding photos. He's bored, nothing on TV. Maury Povich probably isn't on. So he's looking through the old wedding albums and he sees a photo. He's like, that photo looks familiar. He pulled it out and it's folded, and Buck was folded under. And it's like, wow, what a bitch.
It's like, why do that? It's heartbreaking for him personally. Like I mean, I don't think he really knows how much Cindy does not like him.
Yeah.
But that right there, it's like, it's hard not to know it at that point.
Well, we get a glimpse of that when she calls home the next day and Miles is doing the dishes and he answers the phone. He's like, I talked to Buck. And then Tia gets on the phone and goes, I don't know why you left us with this guy. He's a jerk and making shit up. He left Miles and Maisie by themselves. He drinks. He's this. She's just making shit up because she knows that as long as Buck is there, she can't get away with fucking murder. She knows that. So yeah. she's playing. She's playing the hand that she's been dealt with. And then Buck gets on the phone. Hey, how you doing? Everything's great. Just total opposite of what Tia just told him. Apparently he doesn't know that their dog gets fed once a day. He's been feeding him 4 or 5. He also been leaving the fucking toilet seats up, but the water's blue because they have the special shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, that would account for something. Oh, nothing. Just a slight discoloration in the lawn.
And then when he first gets there, he breaks the freaking the fucking plate. And then he's like, oh, where do you find something like that? Antique shop downtown?
England.
In England. Wow. Okay.
And then that's when the mom finally breaks down. She's on the verge of tears, but she's bullshitting her. I'm just so, glad that you're here. And I'm like, you lying bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bob.
What pisses me off too is that they didn't come back for Miles's birthday. That's pretty. What actually that answers the question. They're not twins because he had his own birthday. So I think Maisie might be younger.
I guess so. Yeah,
makes sense now.
We'll figure it out.
And we kind of skipped over this, but it kind of we see how out of touch the mom is, or the parents are with the
both
kid.
Of them. Yeah, both of them.
The mom's like, how'd you do in hockey this week? And hockey's been over for 2 weeks.
Haven't been there in 2 weeks.
And then the dad's like, so I guess you don't want a hockey stick for Christmas. And Tia is sitting there like, because she has to sit there and watch them before they get home from work, as both parents work. It's obviously because they live in a really nice house in the suburbs. So they're definitely out of touch with the kids, and that definitely plays a big part in this movie. That Buck is invested in these kids' lives. He wants to be invested in their lives. You know, he's their fucking uncle. He wants to do cool shit with them. He wants to take them bowling, which he does. That's when we meet Pal.
You know, Powell is such a character. He walks up with a fucking toothpick out his mouth. He's got a busted lip and a black right eye.
Yep.
Sitting there trying to hit on Tia the whole time, and she's
Yep.
trying to be nice to blow him off, but it doesn't work until Bug notices. Got a game going somewhere, pal? Yeah. Well, you're not gonna get any strikes sitting there, are you? Move it. Go on, get out.
It's funny. He's like, well, I know everybody here. That's why they call me Pal. I'm like, no, I think they call you Pal. They don't know your real name, and you're a piece of shit. Like, hey, what's going on, Pal? What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
That's a funnier explanation in my mind.
But at that particular endeavor at the bowling alley, when prior to that, Buck threatens to shave Tia's head while she sleeps. You know, he's definitely laying the tracks of I'm full of shit, but don't try me. You know, and one of his friends lets loose about Shanice, and Tia gets a little nugget of information, just enough for her to fuck with Buck later.
Mm-hmm.
We get the birthday. Buck, you know, huge fucking pancakes that people are trying to imitate to this day. I read about that when I was doing research for this movie. Like, there's like 7 or 8 short stacks, if you want to call them short stacks. And then, God damn.
Not to mention a whole massive pound, just a whole bunch of sausage links just piled up in front of it. It's like, dude, I think one pancake would have been enough for everybody. I'm just, but you know what? You got to give him points for going the extra mile and making it that much more special for Miles. The look on his face, priceless.
And not just that, but he's got on the little elephant nose or the pig nose. Like, you should see the toes. I couldn't even get it through the door. And then we get to, in my opinion, the funniest scene in the movie. And that's when this fucking Volkswagen mouse rolls up. And the kids are having a conversation about how Miles's mom ordered a clown. Like, clowns are boring. Clowns are stupid. Yeah, they make me puke. And then this fucking drunk ass clown shows up, and he can barely see the doorbell because he misses it twice till he finally goes, ugh, there it is. I'm Buddha the clown. Oh, hey, you know, and he's doing his spiel, and Buck is letting him know, look, I'm not the mom, I'm the uncle, I'm Buck. The kids are inside, and then Pooter decides to go, I was at this all-night bachelorette party. Hey, need any little jokes? Boy, hey. And then Buck comes outside, smartly closes the door, and he goes, you drinking? And Pooter's like, what, are you fucking Weather Dupree? You never touched this shit?
It's like, nah, I just wouldn't be drinking if I was going to entertain some kids.
And come on. Pooter gets on his fucking ego and goes, you know who the fuck I am? I'm a god. And then Buck's
getting your mouse.
Get out of here.
Hey, you, let me tell you something, you low life lying 4 flushing sack of.
And then flattens the nose. The dude chased it off, goes in for number 2, and then Buck blam lets him have it again.
What a dick. Seriously. Like, what was he thinking?
I don't know. He was still hungover. He probably wasn't thinking right. We did kind of skip over something. When Buck goes to pick up Mia that first day, we get introduced to Bug, Mr. Bug, and Bug immediately can smell the bullshit. He's like, or not really smell the bullshit, but he's immediately intimidated by Bug. Tia is like, he's full of shit. He doesn't have a hatchet in his car. He's full of shit. And pretty much Buck puts Bug on blast. You know, he does. In public, I'll fucking kill you.
It's like, you ever heard of a tune-up? You ever hear of a ritual killing? I don't get it. Not on her face in public like that again, you'll be one.
Definitely some of Candy's best work, and we get the trade-off between Tia and Buck about Bug, and Buck can smell what he's after. He's a teenage kid. I'm sorry. I was a teenage boy once. I wanted the fuck as much as I wanted to as well, but I didn't. But I wanted to. Doesn't mean I didn't want to. And Bug just does not hide it at all. And this is also a different time, too. This was made in '89. Not that teenagers are different nowadays, but it's definitely a different time.
No, but I mean, there are a lot of guys in high school they have one thing on their mind, and that's trying to get laid. And Buck, he sees right through it, like he says himself. I used to be the guy doing that stuff when I was his age,
Yep.
pretty girl, big chip on your shoulder. And and the bottom line is he's not doing this to be an asshole. He's trying to protect her, but because she's got the pole so far up her ass about everything that's going on, she doesn't see it.
And he even tells her that the first day, get the pole executioner, we'll get along just fine. And he's 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the Poot of the Clown scene is not the funniest scene in this movie.
No.
I think you know what scene I'm talking
about. I know.
When he goes to Miles's guidance counselor, the assistant principal, and has a parent-teacher conference. And the fact that he's trying to piss in a little kid's urinal is fucking hilarious. I'm like, yeah, I get that. I'm 6'6". I totally get it. There's another kid out waiting, and Buck's like, you know what? I'll go in before you. You kind of sit out here, and which was smart because after Buck dissects this broad, it's fucking great.
I'm pretty sure things went better for that kid afterwards.
Oh, I'm sure he did. And I never noticed this before until I was watching it last night. Behind that assistant principal was a Navy boot camp photo and her business card paper, and I went, she was in the Navy? What a bitch.
I just noticed that last night. I was really paying attention to it. I was
before.
Like, no, me neither.
And he walks in the room and she's got this fucking big ass fucking mole on her face, and he can't talk straight. He keeps saying melanoma and wart. And she pretty much refuses to tell him that Maisie is a silly heart, a dreamer, and she doesn't take her academic career seriously, which Buck is like, she's
6 years old.
And then I don't care what you say. She just kind of goes off. And then he fucking goes the fuck off and pretty much says something that I've always believed is that, kids are great until sucked out, dried up bitches like you get a hold of them and suck the fun out of them. If you so much as scowl at my niece or any other kid in the school and I find out, I'm going to come looking for you. And he stands up. Flicks a quarter at her. Here's a quarter. Go downtown and have a rat knock that thing off your face. And she's like, oh. And he winks at her. Good idiot, man. Good idiot. And you see the kid outside laughing the entire time.
Yeah, the whole time when he's making a comment about dried out skags like you see him just like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. Again, Buck is such a lovable character, but you see Tia decides, fuck it, I'm not coming back. Parents won't be back for another couple of days. I'm leaving with Bug. I'm going to do what I want to do. Buck comes home. The kids tell him she flew the coop. She's not coming home.
See, and that's because she tried to reason with it. Like, I guess we find out that the grandfather's okay. She's like, oh yeah, now that he's okay, I'd like to go out. And he's like, until your parents come back, I ain't letting you out. And then she goes off on him again. And then he finds out a fact that happened previous in the movie, that she purposely sabotaged Buck to Shanice when she called on the phone.
Oh yeah, when she came over to see him and he's dancing with Marcy across the street and takes it way out of proportion.
Yeah. Well, he should have just told her to fuck off from the get-go. Seriously. Should have just told her, hey, I'm in a relationship. You need to go. Because he was clearly uncomfortable with her being there. Why not do something about it?
I think he was just trying to be a nice guy. Plus, he doesn't live there. The fucking brother and his kids do. So he's just trying to be polite. Buck's like, you know what? I got no choice. I got to take you with me to the track. And he has him in the car. He's got the engine going. He looks back at him twice, and they don't know what the hell's going on. And definitely a kick in the nut moment. He's like, I can't do this. I can't take these kids there. This is a bad place. The kids don't belong there.
Well, I think it was more the realization that, you know what, he's worried about Tia and he knows that something bad could potentially happen. And I think him looking back at the kids, he's thinking, what if it was one of them?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what that would symbolize, in my opinion.
So he goes inside and he calls Shanice, and she's like, oh, you couldn't take the kids to the fucking track. And he's like, I had them in the car. And this is not about that. This is about Tia. She's disappeared. I don't know where she is. And then, of course, Shanice's, attitude changes. Like, look, I need to find her. I need to know where she's at. And she's like, I'll help you. But as far as we're concerned, this is over, which is okay, fine. Just justified. It's fine. So he takes off looking for her. And then we get the scene we talked about earlier that was the inspired Home Alone, where freaking Macaulay Culkin, who has a BB gun rifle attached on his back, keeping an eye out for fucking Shanice. Can I see some ID, ma'am? Yeah. Can you take it out of the plastic, please? Take it out.
Not only that, but he's propped up on a chair with a can of Splice on the ground. Remember Splice? Remember that shit? Slice, whatever the hell it's called. Yeah. And also a bag of Cheetos.
Yeah. Now, if they had been crunch taters, that'd have been the perfect metaphor at that point. Because
I wish they'd bring those back. Those things were
good.
Delicious.
They were good.
They were. Anyway,
Buck shows up at the party, stands out like a sore thumb. Some kid steals his hat and gives him a shittier hat, takes his fedora, and then the kid who took the hat's like, "Oh, really? Like, give me that back, yeah, punk." And he gets to the room. We see Bug trying to put the moves on a girl. We don't ever see the girl, but we hear her talking like, "No, I'm not ready. Just sit back and be quiet."
Yeah, we assume it's Tia at this point.
Yeah.
So
knocks on the door. This room's taken. And then he knocks again. I'm gonna kick someone's ass if I gotta get out of this bed. And sure enough, you see the drill go through the door, come out, kicks the door in, turns the light on. Bug is like, holy fuck. Buck's thinking, I won, and then it's another girl, and he's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and, his reaction, I think, is very, very interesting and important because first it's a realization of, crap, I fucked up. It's not Tia. He looks down, then he looks back at Bug, and he realizes, wait a minute. You motherfucker. Yeah, that means I got Bug, but that also means he knows what happened with Tia. Yeah. So that changes the situation, too.
So he turns the light off. And then we see Tia walking, and Buck finds her and convinces her to get back in the car. They have a very heartfelt conversation. She's like, "Are you going to tell my parents about what happened?" He's like, "No, I'm not." And the shit that happened to you shouldn't have happened to you. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. Sometimes you just got to. Sometimes you got to put the fork in the socket to realize not to do it again. And he makes the comment, I'm just glad I got a chance to know you again. So it tells you that they had a bit of a friendship before.
It makes you wonder how close they were then compared to now, because apparently it was a long time, like you said before. But this is the first time in the movie that we see her act like a fucking human being.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it took her getting screwed over by Bug and realizing everything that Buck was doing was 100% on the mark. You know what I mean? And that he wasn't trying to do anything against her. He was just trying to help her. And like you said, she had to learn the hard way. Some people just do. So.
And I feel like that's something, speaking for myself, sometimes you need to learn the hard way. Your parents are like, don't do that. I'm like, well, why not? Just don't do it. Oh, I need to know why. And you do it anyway. And you're like, well, shit. Don't do that. Yeah, you don't do it again. It's that fucking simple.
It goes back to that. Back to that scene from Titus, but
yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. If you've never seen the show Titus, it's on YouTube. It's actually pretty fucking funny.
Yeah,
but then she's like, "Well, what'd you do to Bug?" And then he goes, I guess he'd forgotten about Bug, and he's like, I think either he'd forgotten or he just was like, oh,
I think he was saving it. He was saving it.
And then all of a sudden, for the first time, we see her actually smile. And she's like, "What did you do to him?" We pop the trunk, and there he is in the fucking trunk. It's fucking cramped in there, asshole.
Yeah, he's his hands are tied up. He's got
duct tape, by the way.
Yeah, duct tape over his mouth with something in his mouth to keep him from saying anything. So yeah.
And then he's like, what I'd like you to do is say you're sorry to the lady.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, asshole. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I ever told you this before, but I'm an amateur dentist. And the fact that she plays along, oh, yeah.
With the fucking drill, no less.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And they let him out. He drops him. I'm sure
Throws
it
him
was
on the
an
ground.
accident.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a total accident.
Totally. Hey, he slipped. It's cold outside. What do you
It's cold
expect?
outside. There's snow. There's ice. I get it. And
Yeah,
then they
it
let
happens.
him go and they drive off. Now, granted, it's the middle of fucking winter, and he's not wearing a jacket. He's got a t-shirt on. So it's gotta be cold as fuck. And they drive off, and Bug's like, "Yeah, fuck you, and I'll kick your ass, motherfucker." So Buck pulls over and goes, "All right," goes to the fucking trunk, grabs a
Time
couple
for a golf lesson.
and then the Bug is running away, like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sue you, motherfucker." And then Buck just swings and nails right in the back of the head. Clank. You know what? I'm not
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
I'm not sorry. And then he puts down another ball and Bug
Drops
runs
another one.
further away.
That is one of the funniest scenes in the entire movie. That sound effect of the ball ricocheting off Bug's the back of his head is the stuff of legends, man. I watched it with Kevin last night, and he laughed his ass off on that scene. We had to back it up to hear it again.
And we have a scene where Buck and Tia are laughing. For the first time, they're laughing. And then he poses the question, "What the hell did you see in this guy?" And you know what? Never mind. I don't want to know.
Yeah, don't answer it. I don't want to know.
And then he tells, we see Shanice talking to Tia, who admits that I lied. I fucked up. I was just trying to get back at him. And Shanice is not buying it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
She's being nice. She's being courteous, but it's the fucking truth. But then Tia kind of oversteps her line a little bit. Goes, "Oh, well, he's such a great guy." Which was rehearsed and given to her by Buck. And then we get the scene where she checks the door, the swinging door, and it misses him. And then he goes back in front of me. She does it a second time. We see the screen white and red. I don't know why the red, but okay.
I don't know, but
he flies back and he's like, "You know, I did tell you I loved you once, and it wasn't for tires. It was for shocks. And if you see his car, you understand why it needs shocks. That thing is all over the damn place."
Yeah, pretty much.
The next day, the parents come back home from Indianapolis. The mom opens the door. Tia's just standing there with that scowl, that resting bitch face that she is really good at. Just looking at her. And the mom walks in and they get closer. And then Tia leans in and hugs her. And the mom's like,
"What the
like,
hell?
Is she about to stab me? What the fuck happened here?" They have a really good moment. The dad walks in. He's got all the luggage, and he sees this, and he's like, "Okay, it's a really, really awesome little moment." And then the fact that they didn't want Buck to watch them turned out to be the best thing.
Yeah, but then he kind of ruins the moment by accidentally dropping a whole bunch of pots and pans all over the sink and all over the floor. So nice way to kind of break the ice on that.
And then he's like looking around, shit. They leave, and then the last thing that Buck says is like, "Hey Tia, if you're ever downtown, how about we catch a coffee?" And she's like, "I'd like that." And then there's a freeze frame of him waving goodbye. Credits roll. Another John Hughes classic comes to an end, and this is such a great fucking movie.
I agree.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies. It's a very heartfelt movie. It's not even a holiday movie. It probably takes place probably in October time frame, or maybe even January or February.
I was going to say, yeah, probably January, February, somewhere in that ballpark.
In that part of the world, it snows all the fucking time. So I totally get it. I lived in Chicago for 2 winters and hated every minute of it.
Pussy.
I don't mind the cold. I just don't like snow.
Well, for somebody who's only had it twice in his life, I wouldn't mind a little bit of snow, but that's just me.
When you're in Navy boot camp and there's ice on the sidewalks and they make everybody that's not from the north, that's never seen snow, go out and shovel and chip ice. Yeah.
Well, yeah, see, it's easy for me to say that when I've never experienced it until I actually do. But
I love snow if you've never actually had to shovel the shit.
Maybe one day. Yeah.
But go ahead.
Just a couple of things I would love to say about this. We did mention back during our Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I did say that this is one of my personal quintessential John Candy films. Yeah, and John Hughes movies in general. This is one of those, when it's over, I just have this like warm feeling inside of me, and I'm kind of sad that it's over, and I look forward to watching it again one day.
Yeah. You just have to
so classic. A couple of things. Did you notice that in the beginning of the movie, when the kids get home from school, that Maisie is eating Cheetos with Cheese Whiz?
Yeah, I caught that. That's
I
a
never
weird
noticed that
combination.
before today or yesterday. So, but at least between all the three siblings, it definitely feels like a family with their constant back and forth banter going all the way. You know,
Yep.
just
And it's all because they moved from one. And Indianapolis is not that far from Chicago in reality. The
Mhm.
Midwest, the cities are so close to each other that it's like if Austin, San Antonio, Corpus, and Houston were like 2 hours apart from each other.
Mhm.
I know Austin is 3, San Antonio is 2, Houston is 3.5. So just think of all of that closer together. It's just across a state line. They're not that far apart from each other.
It's just further proof that I need to get out of Texas a little bit.
One line that I forgot to mention that really sets the tone for this movie is Miles is leaving the room and Maisie tells him to shut up. And she's like, I don't know why we have to have boys. And then Tia goes, we have to have boys so they can grow up, get married, and turn into shadows. And it's like, whoa,
Yikes!
that's what you think of your dad? Wow.
See, that's just
In
harsh.
reality, though, I think the father just doesn't want to fucking fight with her. He wants to keep the peace. And the mom at that point is just such a conniving, snotty bitch that, it's like, I don't want to fight with her because he probably thinks I'm not going to win. Number one, I'm not going to win this fight. And number two, it's just not worth the fucking effort. And he's probably right.
Not. Probably not. But I mean, sometimes you got to stand up and say something about it. You can't just let somebody always push you around. You know, you can't, that's no way to go through life.
I agree. Moving on to the budget and the box office for this particular movie. The budget was $15 million, which in '89 was a pretty significant amount of money, considering movies like Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, and Star Wars movies didn't have anywhere near a budget like that. The box office domestically was 67 million, and internationally was 12.5, with a grand total of just shy of $80 million. So it's a successful movie, obviously. I think the rule of thumb is twice or 3 times the budget, and
at least
that's at least almost 4 times as much. So successful movie. And opening weekend it made 8.7 million. So
I remember mom going and watching this alone and then coming back and telling us about it afterwards.
Yeah, I do.
I remember she was like, "Oh yeah, I saw this movie Uncle Buck," and I remember thinking, "What the heck kind of movie title is that? Uncle Buck? Like what the hell?" But that's what I thought back then. But
we don't care about that. We care about the ratings of these movies. And according to Rotten Tomatoes, and again, since you're the only one here, you are going to be the guinea pig here. There is no Scuba, so I don't have to put him on here. What do you think the critics' review percentage was of this movie?
I'd like to think they weren't too harsh. So I'm going to say 75.
61. It's actually kind of low.
How?
I know. I feel like that's not justified.
I mean, we don't listen to the critics, but damn, what were they thinking?
Yeah, I know.
Shit.
Now the popcorn meter by the fans, what do you think they rated this movie?
I want to go too high, but I'm going to go 85.
It's actually lower. It's 77%. I feel that's low.
Low. It's not terrible, but it's like, well, it needs to be higher. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It should be at least in the 80s, if not a little bit higher than that.
At least 80s minimum.
And now we move on to the portion of the show where we give our scores. Now, we try to keep it unique to every movie, rating on 1 to 5. Today will be 1 to 5 Volkswagen mouses or mice. Volkswagen mice. It works.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I sat long enough, I could probably think of something like bowling balls or something, but that's not very unique.
The mouse definitely sets the tone for this movie.
Or how about dogs and dryers? How about that? But no, that doesn't work either. Yeah, because I always wonder, why is the dog in the fucking dryer?
It was probably fucking warm. That's why.
I guess so. But
so that being said, how many Volkswagen mice would you give this movie?
You know what? I think I'm gonna go a full 5 at this point. Because you know what?
You would.
I mean, how can I not? I love this movie. It's a funny movie. Every single character in the movie is memorable in their own way.
Yeah.
I never get tired of watching this movie, and even my son gave it the seal of approval. And pretty much, I'm trying to introduce him to a lot of good stuff right now. And what can I say? This is just a really heartwarming, funny ass movie from start to finish. So, and I never get
there
tired
is
of it.
no dull moment in this movie. It pretty much it
No,
flows perfectly. It's just shy of 2 hours, but doesn't feel like it's 2 hours. It just
no, it really doesn't. And did you notice that when Buck first gets there, when he walks over to the piano, did you catch the song that he plays
yeah,
on the piano? The
yeah,
Twilight Zone, and he
yeah.
walks away. Yeah, you got that right.
So you give it a 5.
I give
All
it a
right.
5.
Well, big surprise. I am also going to give it a 5.
I mean, can you find any complaints? Is there anything we can
No,
complain about? I can't find
no.
anything.
I'm sure the trolls on the internet that like to get their clickbait out there will throw some random bullshit out there, but they don't make them like this anymore. I know that makes me sound like, oh, get back in my day, but it's real. They don't make wholesome, good-hearted movies like this anymore, and they should. This is such a great movie, and it's sad that John Hughes is no longer with us. He passed away, I think, in the early 2000s sometime, I think is when it was.
Yeah, and John Candy, he passed away in
Yeah.
94. That's a goddamn shame, dude.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, these are great fucking flicks. And I know they tried to they not long after this movie came out, they made a TV show that was on CBS and it was horrible.
I vaguely remember it.
And then they tried to do it again, but they changed the race and it did just as bad as that. And I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
There's certain movies and certain TV shows that should not cross genres. The TV shows that shouldn't become movies, and movies that shouldn't become TV shows. Very few are successful.
Like MASH.
MASH is the only one I can think of that comes to mind that was a successful movie and a successful TV show.
Speaking of which, did you know that MASH was actually up for Best Picture that year?
Yeah, it was. What,
Yeah.
71, 72? I forget.
Yeah, whatever year it came out. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
From what I hear, it's a great flick. I've never seen it. Nope,
You've never seen MASH?
No.
Dude, no. Robert Duvall, Donald Sutherland. Go check it out, man. Even Radar. He's actually the only person who's in the movie and in the TV show.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, that he's
which is actually funny.
One. But all right, we both give it a 5. And I'm genuinely not surprised by that because again, this is a movie we grew up with. We had it on VHS, now we have it in the cloud. Our it's still Fandango, I think. I don't know why they keep changing the name.
Fandango at home is what it is right now. I don't know why they keep changing it, but
now it's Fandango, and I'm like, you better not take away my fucking cloud. God damn it.
That's what I was gonna say. You can change the fucking name as many times as you want, but as long as we don't lose those damn movies, we have hundreds of movies. Dude.
We have over 600 movies and like a couple of TV shows in the cloud. So
and some of the things that are on there have multiple movies attached to them, so it's more than that. So, yeah. We love movies.
Yes, we do. That's why we have this podcast. With that being said, this will conclude this review of Uncle Buck. Next week, boys and girls, we'll be reviewing definitely one of my favorite John Hughes movies. It's up there. It's a great flick. It's one of those movies that I can relate to, especially when it comes to Brian in this movie, and that will be The Breakfast Club, which came out in 85, I believe, is the year it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing. For those that haven't figured out the pattern yet, we have 2 John Hughes movies this month because it's John Hughes' birthday month, which is funny because it's also my birthday month and Scuba's birthday month.
Which is funny, but I do have a random question for you as it pertains to The Breakfast Club.
Sure.
Does Barry Manilow know that you rate his wardrobe?
You know what? For 2 months, I got you. Who would have thought that Paul Gleason was a fucking Longhorns fan? Who would have thought? But with that being said, Psycho Nerd, promote yo shit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can feel free to find me on YouTube currently. That'll be changing soon, but for right now, the Cycle Nerd Podcast. I am currently going to be recording a new episode, the first of the year. It's been a little while, but we're getting on it. And also, I have some new movie reviews that have just been released from the month of January. Feel free to check those out. And I'm also putting all of my out of theater reactions from Fantastic Fest. It only took 4 months, but I'm finally doing it, getting all those videos on YouTube currently. I promise I'll do better next year. I haven't even been on YouTube a full year yet, so I'm still learning as I go. So yeah, good things are coming. I promise.
That is the thing about being a content creator is that you got to be on, especially with the wrestling one that we're doing.
Mhm.
I had to watch the Saturday Night Main Event, and I'm like, I'm not even invested in this show. Why the fuck am I watching it? But
See,
I
I don't know.
to.
I don't
I
know
have
why
to.
you're not. After catching up on all the shows and everything that was going on, I became invested. So I don't know.
We'll talk about that off air. I'm not going to bore these people. Half the
Nah.
people that are watching this probably don't even know what WWE is or like it. But I will promote it anyway. Besides the Real Movie Critics, we have DJ Zodiac podcast. It's a WWE review of Raw, SmackDown, PLEs as they come out, and any kind of news in the industry as well. You can find that on YouTube for the video, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts for the audio. Easy way to find it, just Google search the DJ Zodiac podcast. The first 3 links are fucking the podcast. And everything else you want from there. I also do a podcast that airs in Ireland on their Phoenix station at 2.5 called The Wrestling Rewind. You can find that on Spotify. I just recently joined that not too long ago, and it's The Wrestling Rewind, and I haven't told Mr. O'Connor this yet, but it's definitely kind of revigorated my love for wrestling a little bit. Just talking to somebody besides the people that I know, somebody in Ireland that has a huge passion for it, because they don't get shows in Ireland very often.
Really?
But yeah, they really don't. But it's definitely kind of relit the fire. So you can find, like I said, you can find that on Spotify and on YouTube, as well as the Real Movie Critics. You can find that on YouTube and Spotify. I am still working on Apple.
You can't see it. You said the Wrestling Rewind, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I can look it up for myself.
Yeah. And everything that we said will be down below in the description. So just make sure you like, subscribe, and follow all of our podcasts. And for the Psycho Nerd, I am DJ Zodiac. We want to thank you for watching the Real Movie Critics. I got it right. Hey, progress.
We're all gonna get laid.
Wow, that was totally out of nowhere.
Hey, the soundbite that you put up all the time from
hey everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
Exactly. See, I did it without the soundbite. There you go.
Wow, Jesus Christ!
It was funny, and you know it. You'll laugh as soon as we're off the air.
Hey everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
Yeah.
See?
But again, for the Psycho Nerd, this is DJ Zodiac. We want to thank you for listening or watching the Real Movie Critics. And until next week or next time we see you, there's always time for one more binge. We will see you next time.
You so much as scowl at my niece or any other kid in this school, and I hear about it, and I'm coming looking for you. Take this quarter. Go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face. Good day to you, madam.